So the urinary system, guys, is going to be composed of different organs. Some of these organs are going to be obviously the kidneys, the urethra, so you can see here, the urinary bladder, the urethra, and those are going to be the organs in the urinary system. So then, as you know, we have two kidneys. If you look at the kidneys and you cut the kidneys in half, you're going to see that this structure that you see right here, they're considered macroscopic structure because you're going to be able to see them with your own eyes. Where you can see you have a pyramid right there. In between the pyramids, you're going to have the column. This top part right here, this is going to be the cortex. This part right here is going to be the medulla. This part right here is going to be the renal pelvis right there, where you're going to collect the urine. And from there, you can see how the urethra is going to continue down into the urinary bladder. One of the main functions that you're going to have in your kidneys is going to be the formation of urine. The formation of urine is done in microscopic structures. So if you cut a little piece of your kidney right here, and you put that in the microscope, you're going to see that you have this structure right there. This one is going to be called the nephron. All this structure from here to here is going to be the nephron right there. The nephron is going to be composed by the glomerulus, which is this part right here. This balloon right there, that's going to be the glomerulus. This is going to be the proximal convoluted tubule. This one is going to be distal convoluted tubule because it's far away from the glomerulus. And this part right here, so the tube continues like that. And then it goes down. This is going to be the loop of Henle. Continues like this and it will continue. And since we have multiple nephrons, then you're going to see in here the ending of another nephron, the ending of another nephron right here, the ending of another one. So therefore, this tube right here is going to be considered the collecting duct. It's going to be obviously collecting duct because it's going to collect the urine that is going to be created in all these different nephrons that we're going to have right there. The formation of urine is going to be achieved by three different steps. Those are going to be filtration, secretion, and reabsorption. So then the filtration is going to happen mainly right here in the glomerulus right there, this part right there, and the secretion and reabsorption is going to happen mainly in this tube right here in the proximal convoluted tubule, the loop of Henle, and in the distal convoluted tubule. And that water conservation happens at the level of the collecting duct right there. Now, how filtration happens is the filtration is going to be filtering the blood in order to remove waste. What is this waste that we remove? Mainly waste that is going to contain nitrate, uric acid, ammonia, creatinine. In the urine, we're also going to have, besides this waste, we're going to have some water, and we're going to have some sodium and chloride, right? We're going to have some electrolytes in there as well. Okay, so, but all this come basically from your blood, right? The blood is the one that is going to get filtered. Where this blood comes from, your heart is going to pump the blood through the aorta. The aorta is going to give you a branch, which is going to be a renal artery. Renal artery is going to be a large artery. Then the large artery is going to go into a smaller arteries, right? Such as, for example, medium arteries, smaller arteries, arterioles, and from the arterioles, you're going to get the capillaries. And the capillaries are the ones that are going to form that nephron right there where the filtration is going to happen. The type of capillaries you're going to get right here are going to be fenestrated capillaries. Okay, so then we scroll down right here. This is the fenestrated capillary. And that fenestrated capillary is going to be called the glomerulus. The glomerulus is going to be covered with a capsule called the Bowman's capsule. Okay, and those two, the glomerulus and the Bowman's capsule together, they're going to form the renal corpuscle. Now, the glomerulus is the capillary. The wall of the capillary is going to have holes in there. Those are going to be called fenestrations, and that is going to be part of the filtration membrane. Part of the filtration membrane also is going to be the podocytes. Podocytes are cells that are going to wrap around the capillaries, and these ones, and those are the ones that you see right there in golden. These podocytes are going to have finger-like extensions that are going to wrap around the capillaries. I think this one right here, right there. So whatever is going to get filtrated will have to go through the fenestrations, to the basal membrane, and in between the podocytes. Whatever gets filtered will go into the tube. Okay, this is the proximal convoluted tubule. Now, what you need to understand is sometimes the things that we filter, we do not actually want to eliminate in our urines. Then what we're going to do is we are going to reabsorb those things. And in some cases, we're going to get rid of some things, but they are too large in order to be filtered through the fenestrations. So we are actually going to secrete them right here inside the tube. So that's why we said that the formation of urine will depend basically of the filtration that happens right here in the glomerulus, the reabsorption, as well as secretion. So then if we keep scrolling down right here, we can see the glomerulus. Therefore, since we're going to filter in there, that's going to be the amount of filtration that you're going to have in your urine is going to be called the glomerular filtration rate. So then this glomerular filtration rate needs to be maintained all the time in order to be able to produce approximately 1 to 2 liters of urine per day. Right? So therefore, if we want to maintain 1 to 2 liters of urine per day, then we have to maintain the glomerular filtration. This glomerular filtration needs to be maintained because the moment that we increase or we decrease the glomerular filtration, then obviously the amount of urine that we're going to produce also will increase or will decrease. Some of these mechanisms that we're going to use in order to control the glomerular filtration rate so it doesn't go up or it doesn't go down too much is going to be the juxtaglomerular apparatus. Now you will have certain amount of urine that you're going to produce in your kidneys through the urethra, and it's going to reach the urinary bladder. This is a motor you have in there, the kidneys, and in here you have the urethra going down, right? The urethra going down in here. Eventually, they're going to reach the urinary bladder right here. So if we go through the urinary bladder, right here, we can see how the urethra goes down here at the bottom, and you see here there are the holes that you're going to have in the urinary bladder where we are going to store the urine. This part right here in the urinary bladder is going to be called the trigone. The urinary bladder is going to have some elevations and grooves. Those are going to be called the rugae in here. And then basically the urinary bladder is going to work to store the urine. And this one right here is the urethra that is going to take the urine from the urinary bladder to the exterior. The urethra in the case of females, right, is going to be short right here. But in the case of males, the urethra is going to be longer right here. Right, because obviously it's going to go inside the penis in order to eliminate the urine to the exterior. So then if we scroll down right here, we're going to have the urine and we're going to evaluate what the urine has. So in this case, we are going to get some urine, right? There's going to be placing a test tube like that. This is strips. You're going to place inside the tube. So the strip will go in here like this. And these areas right here that you have right there, they're going to change colors depending on what you have or what is present right here in the urine. Let's say this is the strip and you will align this, so you will put it this way right here. Now you're gonna put that this way like that. And you will align this. This one will go over here. This one will go over here. You will align these things with every single one that you have in here. And depending on the color that they're going to change, that's gonna tell you more or less what they have. For example, you know, if this one goes here, so you align it in there, right? And if it changes, let's say this is changes to this color, so it's going to tell you what you have right there. Right, the urinalysis is done with that particular test strip, right, where it's going to change colors in the urine. You're going to have chemical findings, physical findings. So we think what is chemical, you can find normal and abnormal. So for example, normal, you can say that's going to be salt, but abnormal is going to be maybe blood or proteins or sugar. So can you find blood, proteins, and sugar in urine? Sure, you can find them, but that's going to be something abnormal, right? In this case, the activity in the lab is for you to find, right, these abnormalities right there, right? Obviously, once you find them, you're going to make the notes in here, and you're going to show, right, during the lab what you're going to find in there.